normal REST APIs returning XML, so you can all go play with them. So go do play with them. Number two, again on the theme of GlueCon, there's a lot of data being generated and there's a lot of data being processed. So one of the things I see a lot in Windows Azure is people dealing with a ton of data. So I want to pull out one example of an application which deals with a ton of data every day. And that is something which you can try right now on your laptops. If you go to Bing.com, which by the way is our Microsoft search engine if you haven't seen the ads, if you go search for any query which pulls in a Twitter or a real-time result, that is coming from Windows Azure. So this is a screenshot of me searching for hashtag GlueCon sometime earlier today. And the deal is, if you remember a few months ago, Microsoft had a deal with Twitter where we get a fire hose from them of all their tweets, right? So each and every one of those tweets gets pumped into a Windows Azure table, and there's a bunch of processing which happens on several VMs, and then it shows up within Bing within a few seconds. Okay, so when we talk about cloud scale, you can see what kind of scale we're talking about here. So here's a service which is taking in all of Twitter every single day, and it's been doing so for months, and then processing them and pumping it out within seconds. So here's an example of service consuming data. The other side of it is, a lot of us have data we would like to expose. So this is a service which I don't work on, but it's part of the Azure family. It's called Dallas. And Dallas is basically a data marketplace. It's meant to hook up people who have large data sources, the government, research laboratories, people like Twitter, who have large data sources, right? Some of them want to give away the data for free. Some of them want to charge for the data. They have different business models in mind. On the other hand, you have developers who want to consume this data. Before Windows Azure, I used to work for a team called Microsoft Popfly. Anybody ever heard of that? Popfly? Yeah, a few people, right? So before it joined the Deadpool, I spent a lot of my time writing code which just parsed and crawled different data formats on the web. And it was no fun. So what Dallas does, apart from figuring out all the business model and a unified payment system, then it also throws all these data sources behind a common open protocol called Open Data, or OData in short. So if you're a developer, you have a common experience in terms of consuming all this data, charging for all this data, and it's basically a great place for publishing large data sources and consuming large data sources. And finally, number one, I spent close to a day and a half at the Windows Azure booth, and I found myself telling either of these two things quite a bit. That saying Windows Azure is just Windows, and Windows Azure is not Windows. Let me explain what I mean. First, the just Windows part. There is a perception or a myth that Windows Azure is somehow different than Windows Server. That if I have a Windows application that runs on any Windows box, that won't run on Windows Server. Not true. If you have a Windows application which can run on Windows Server or any modern Windows operating system, it can probably run on Windows Azure. It may not be very straightforward. You may have some steps along the way, but it can be made to run. The other part of it is, it's not just Windows. A lot of people came to me and said, hey, I like Windows Azure, but I'm a Unix guy. My world is SSH, it's Ruby on Rails, it's Django, it's Node.js, you pick your poison. Well, it turns out that Windows Azure is not really just a .NET platform. All these open source technologies work great on us. In fact, some of our most popular apps are built on Ruby on Rails, and stuff like Java, Node.js, Tornado, pretty much any mainstream open source web stack stuff runs great on us. So even though it's not Unix, you want to find that the technology that you work in works great in Azure. So to prove this, this machine is a machine I've been writing a lot of code in over the last 1 week on a bunch of open source stuff I've been working on Windows Azure. And this machine is not even Windows. It's running OS X. So there you go. The proof is in the pudding, right? And that's all I have. I finished within the time I promised.